had some in September, but they all showed up between 7 and 10 in the morning. So I'm thinking these deer are in the bottom to smell everything before they work their way up to bed.
After not seeing anything all morning, I decided to go to an area that I scouted in the winter with my brother Arrow. We found tons of sign, big scrapes, big rubs, big beds, and we got super excited. Me and Arrow have been walking this huge ridge system. There's a river or like a dried up creek that goes through the bottom, and then just huge steep hills. We have just these two matted out beds right here there's a rub on this tree. Up here it's just super thick, there's rocks, and this thing's looking right down this point. So this buck, I think in the evening, is dropping down here and hitting that scrape and seeing what's in the area. But this whole bottom here, we found probably 10 scrapes just going through this river bottom. And it's pretty exciting finding all this buck sign right here, but gets you pretty excited. I ended up coming back in the summertime to hang cameras in this area. And on my walk out, I jumped a really nice buck. Fast forward to 2 days before season, I went to check the cameras, and there's a couple really nice bucks on it. One in particular that I thought I would definitely shoot.
Every step's a deadly silent fight. Snow falls hard on Victoria's light. Freezing hope, blurring wrong and right. Swift as the wind, we tear through the lies. Silent as the forest where danger hides. Fierce as the fire burning the wheat. Unshaken as a mountain, strong and bleak.
Let's do it up. Look at this track. That thing is huge. I just found a fresh pile of poop. And I just walked this trail the other night. Let's see what's in here. Just a huge scrape right here under this white oak tree. It's raining acorns. There's fresh pine. That's a pretty big scrape. This looks like a human trail, but it's all made from deer. Look at this. This is a crazy trail. Tracks everywhere. The ground's all pot up here. Look at that. They're digging for acorns. Here. Here. Little track in there. All of this is ripped up from deer. There's tracks everywhere. I think the big guy is bedding further back in there. So I'm gonna pass this. It was really hard for me to pass up all that fresh sign. A big scrape, rubs, scat. But I assumed that a mature buck would not be hitting that in daylight. So I went back to where I assumed an older deer would be.
About 2 months ago, I bumped a really nice buck like 80 yards up here. I'm gonna work my way up this draw because there's a crossing up at the top, and I think he's gonna cross it to go head towards acorns that way. Wind is perfect, and I just found a big pile of poop. Let's see what happens.
28 shot. Holy crap, opening day. What the hell? Wow. My heart is pounding out of my chest. That thing was 12 yards. I think I was hurting tip over. Oh my gosh. Took me 4 hours to get in here. And I sit up 60 yards from his bed. He was literally bedded on the other side of this drop behind me. And I was legit putting sticks in front of me for cover. And I look over, I can see something moving. There's deer blowing everywhere. So I figured he'd be all worried, but he came walking in. Holy crap. My wind is just perfect, blowing right down this draw. The day was supposed to be blowing like up this hill. But I figured with the dropping thermals, it was gonna override the wind. Sure enough, he had velvet hanging off his antlers. That arrow just sunk right in him. Time to celebrate with a Little Debbie cream pie. Little Debbie's, you should sponsor me. Tasty. That's the deer I had on camera. That's definitely him. Look at, there's a bed right here. Holy cow, that's a fat deer. There we have it, folks. Beautiful 8-point buck. And he's got some velvet hanging off here. Kind of gross, but the last little piece of velvet right here. Yeah, first opening day buck, and pretty freaking awesome. He's been tearing up all these trees in here. He's got bark in his antlers. Started a couple months back when me and my brother Arrow, we actually came here in the spring, and I've been wanting to check this piece out for a while. And anyways, we just ran into this a ton of sign, like just the bottoms were just tore up with scrapes. We found buck bedding up on the tops of the hills, just super steep, and I got super excited and actually came back here in the summer to hang cameras. I hung 2 of them, and this guy showed up a couple times on camera. On my walk in today, there's a huge scrape closer to where I parked with a bunch of rubs and fresh sign, and I was gonna sit there, but decided to go to where I think this buck was bedded, because when I was hanging cameras, actually, I jumped him. And once I jumped him, I went and scouted the area around here and found his beds and where he was traveling. And I put a pin on my map that he was gonna cross the top of this draw, and it would be perfect access for me to get in without bumping him. And I set up 80 yards from him. $20.25 buck down. I can't believe it to this day. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next one.